It's minicamp season, and today we're doing another quarterback battle. Today, it's Shedeur Sanders versus Jaxson Dart. We're going to watch them work through drills on the field at practice. We're going to talk ball, talk about their situation, how they play, prospect profiles, everything, leaving it out on the table. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're talking about practice. Rookie camp, OTAs, minicamp, soon to be training camp. So if you want to see what these quarterbacks are doing in training camp here next month, it's going to be right here. I will have all the clips. I had them on Shedeur. I had them on Jaxson. It's going to be right here. Click that button. Stop missing out. 13 minutes, 43 seconds, splitting up some clips of them back and forth, talking ball. We're starting with Shedeur. Here we go. His are from minicamp. Jaxson Dart spread around, starting off mainly from minicamp. Shedeur has more clips than any other player, all NFL, when it comes to minicamp clips, OTA clips, any clips, by about an hour. And I'm not really exaggerating that much because I did the 50-minute plus video on him in his clips, all of them. I dropped the buffet. That was on Father's Day. So what we're hearing from camp, he's looking good. Hasn't really had a bad practice, stacking days, completing almost all his passes. What we're seeing from his clips, he's carrying himself very well. Very stoic, very chill, looks like a veteran. He's learning from Joe Flacco. We're seeing that on the field. We're hearing that from Stefanski back in the quarterback room. Looks like he's teaching Kenny Pickett some things, actually, in some of these moments. Maybe we'll catch it in this highlight clip. All in all, he's been looking good. Prospect profile-wise, you have to look at it consensusly. Almost everybody had him at least a first-round prospect. There's a few that had him really late, but it was like the exception. It was like a rarity. But what I liked about his game, accurate ball downfield, accurate around the red zone, accurate down by the sideline. He did have that speeding ticket a couple days ago. It is what it is. I've seen players do a lot worse and still make it on the field. It's not bothering me unless he does it like 5 more times or a couple more times before training camp, I guess. Ain't going to impact him. Ain't going to be nothing. We're going to forget about it by the time we get this time in July. Honestly, once training camp starts. Feet's out, boom. One thing I want to know, he's more mobile than advertised. I feel like during draft season, people kind of made him out like he was like Drew Bledsoe. He's not Mike Vick, but he's also not Drew Bledsoe. You'll see him on some of these. If it's in this package, there's that deep ball. That accurate ball. Oh, he's proving me wrong on that one. But his placement on the deep ball. Just back pylon, down the sideline, contested catches. That's what I like about his game. That could fit well with this team. Now, if you're looking at him as the Browns quarterback, like it's what you think the Browns would do with what you want to do. And what I think the Browns will probably do is as long as Flacco keeps stacking days, they're probably going to roll with him. And then when Flacco's not stacking days in season, they're probably going to go to another quarterback. And I think Shedeur's going to eat Kenny Pickett's lunch. And he should be, unless they got a bias towards Kenny Pickett. Stefanski likes him, it sounds like, per interviews I heard on ESPN Cleveland's radio shows about a month and a half back. That could potentially happen. But I look for Shedeur to start somewhere down the line. I look for that to happen. I think they're going to want to know quick. Jaxson Dart has a lot of talent. Not as polished, though, from play to play, game to game. Like, not as polished. Big-time prospect coming out of high school. A guy that we've been paying attention to from the start of his career to the end of it in college due to that. A guy that's always had highlights out there, that's always been putting together big moments. Has a good arm, a mobile, aggressive downfield. He's in a better situation. Like, he's in a situation here where he's developing. Like, he's not in a quarterback battle. Shedeur's in a quarterback battle. He's not. He can learn the system, pick things up, and it may be 2 years before you really see him with the job. Maybe 3, maybe 1, maybe a couple weeks, maybe a couple months. But he's here to learn from these vets. Russell Wilson, and you got Jameis Winston. There he is. And since he's not a polished prospect, but has some attributes where he could cook, that could allow him to polish up over these next couple years. And another reason why this is a better situation, you have Malik Neighbors. Like, when we were talking draft, and we were looking at Shedeur, and we were looking at the teams he could go to, we were looking at the Raiders, we were looking at the Giants, we were looking at some of the other top teams. Giants, we saw them. Russ, Jameis, Malik Neighbors for sure. That was a good opportunity for a quarterback to sit back and learn. That would have been a good opportunity for Shedeur because his accuracy plus some Malik Neighbors, that would have been like a gift for him. That would have been a good pair. That would have been a good pair. But it didn't work out that way. Jaxson Dart, though, if he gets his opportunity and if he's just mid, he has got Malik Neighbors who can buoy him a little bit and help him learn on the fly. Right now, you have Jameis Winston. And from what we saw back when he was in Cleveland with Deshaun Watson and how he spoke in interviews, because this isn't my first rodeo covering the Browns and their quarterbacks. I've been doing this for years. And I'll say this, Winston will put the quarterbacks under his wing, even if it's like Deshaun Watson, and just teach. Just teach and be a mentor. Another reason why I thought any rookie going to the Giants would have been a good spot. Now you may go, what about the offensive line this? The thing is, you're not expected to be out there right now. So they got time. They got time to patch that up. And if you look at what the Bears did, they made like 3 moves in free agency. They made a lot of moves, and all it took was 1 year. Now we're like, oh, that stuff can change in a heartbeat. You're looking at Jaxson Dart here. We got a little bit of mobility. We can move a bit. But we're aggressive. We don't play scared. We'll push it downfield. So one thing you could see is a lot of mistakes, or you could see a lot of big-time plays, and you could see either or on that depending on how he polishes. Coming out for the draft, I had Shedeur ahead of him. He was more polished. He's more ready to go. Shedeur's more ready for a quarterback battle against veterans. Jaxson Dart's not. He's not going to win many quarterback battles. He'd beat out Gabriel. I don't think it takes much to beat out Gabriel for a starting job. I think Shedeur's going to beat out Gabriel unless there's bias towards that because Shedeur's looking good. Gabriel's getting pushed a little bit more on schemes and concepts, but every card that gets laid out, except for driving, I'll throw that joke out there, he aces. He aces, for sure. That's the thing about this. He got an opportunity to work with the second team in minicamp, and he aced it. And Flacco got a break. It was day 2 of minicamp, and their run of 3 practices that week. It was day 2. Flacco got a rest. He got some work in, and they let him get a break. Shedeur got some moments with the second team, along with the other quarterbacks. He aced it. And that's important because things are faster. More talent on the field. That's looking good. That's looking solid. And that's all you can ask for. The cards are going to be dealt to you one way or another, and that's life. That's for me, that's for you, that's for sure. And all you got to do is take them and do your best with them. He's doing his best, and he's excelling. So if you're rooting for Shedeur, that's something to look at. The cards got dealt through the draft, and he's doing his best with it, and he's taking his best foot forward. You're not hearing complaints, at least I haven't. You're not hearing that. You're seeing him come in and say, okay, and doing the work. And that's how I should do it. That's how you should do it. That's how we do it. That's how you do it. He's doing solid. He's looking good out there. Shedeur Sanders has been solid. Anything that's been thrown at him, he has been getting it done. That's what we're seeing from Shedeur. We're seeing him getting extra work, which I'm not surprised. He's always had good character, and part of that is good character. A lot of you guys talk about the good character he had. That's part of the good character. Something bad happens to you. That's when you show that good character. It's easy to have good character when everything's going well. It's easy. He's showing it right now. He's looking like a veteran out there between snaps at practice. He's looking chill. He's taking the mentorship of Joe Flacco. He's doing well with that. He's helping Kenny Pickett. He's working hard. You hear Stefanski talk about him. He's there early. Stefanski's saying he's learning a lot from Flacco behind the scenes too, despite the little tidbits we're seeing in these clips. And we're more mobile than advertised. I'll definitely say that. There he is, stepping up the pocket. We're rolling. There we go. There we go. There's Dart. Jaxson Dart and Shedeur Sanders, totally different situations. Dart also has draft capital behind him, where Shedeur doesn't. Shedeur has to, be flawless right now. Do that. Just, it is what it is. It's the sunk cost fallacy. It is what it is. But Jaxson Dart here is in a situation where he can learn and grow. It's almost like you can do your prospect analysis, but one's going to have a different situation than the other regardless. And it is what it is. Dart's just got to excel here. He's got to develop. He's got to get better. He's going to have some time. And time might be longer than you expect. Russell Wilson could play his heart out and do well, exceed expectations. And they bring him back. They could do that. Say, one more go. One more go. Maybe they do that. Winston could do that. You never know. Did you see the flip of the football there? That was cool. That was cool. But this is a guy that can shoot it downfield. He's accurate, but not consistent. Play to play, game to game. That is something that just needs polished. That is something that just needs polished up. He's got the money in his game. Mobility on the run, accuracy downfield. He can really do it all. He could functionally do it all. It's got to be polished up. It's got to be more consistent. You just can't have runs of bad series, especially in the NFL, because that just can't happen. But this is a golden situation. Malik Neighbors is one of the best wide receivers in the league. He's already proven that. One of the best wide receivers in the league will show themselves early in their career, and I mean early, first few games. He's one of the best wide receivers in the National Football League. So when he gets his moment, he'll have him. He's learned behind two good veteran quarterbacks. Winston's there to teach. I imagine if he was sitting right here, he'd be teaching me stuff. He'd be teaching me about crab legs or whatever. And now we're looking at Jaxson Dart, and this is a glorious situation. This would be great for Shedeur. This would have been a great situation for Shedeur, honestly. Honestly, this would have been perfect. This is one of those perfect landing spots I thought was for him, but maybe not with the coaching staff, though. Maybe not. That coaching staff, they want what they want, and that's not what they want, and it is what it is. That's not what they want. It is what it is. That's another thing to look at. Outside of that, I didn't know their personalities. I don't hang out with them, so I don't know. So outside of that, just looking at the peripheral pieces, you're looking at offensive line, wide receiver, veteran quarterbacks. That stuff looks like it's great. They may be in and out with coaches. That's the thing with the Giants. They might be in and out with coaches. That's another thing to look at. The Browns could be too. Stefanski likes to run the football. He likes to be old school, and he'll continue to be old school. That's just how he is. I look for them to run it a lot. I look for them to slow down the pace, and it's going to be about the turnover margin with this team. Are they winning the turnover battle? Are they not? What is going on with that? You're looking at Jaxson Dart. We know, developmental quarterback prospect, and he's going to get thrown out there eventually. They're going to throw him out there eventually. They're going to see what they got in him. That's for sure. And that could be sooner than later. That could eventually happen. But he's in a great situation. Peripherally, coaching staff-wise, we got to see. Peripherally, both these players. I think the fact that Shedeur is in a camp battle right now is a good thing. It's better than going behind, a true starter, and you're just going to have to sit for years. That's the thing about that. But maybe, body-wise, long-term, that might be fine because you ain't taking hits, and you're just practicing, you're watching, you get a few starts here and there. Maybe personally-wise, that ain't bad. You're here to compete, but still, that ain't bad. I mean, you look at what the Browns have done my whole lifetime. That ain't bad. I mean, again, I look at everything as good because you either win or you learn. I'm teaching you guys too, as in these guys are learning as well because we're all developing. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One, thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.